You're listening to the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
But tonight, an extra special guest, we have the host of Angry Marks Radio. We will have Stevie J calling in here shortly. We're going to have him live. Stevie's a heck of a guy. Many of you might know him from the get-togethers and the conventions. He usually brings his lovely wife, Lady J, along with him, but he is on at angrymarks.com. Check that out. They do a lot of cool things. They got some chats. And they also host, or actually, you know what? I think Stevie has his own other site that is dedicated to hip-hop and R&B rap lyrics. And we might just see how much he knows tonight, this evening. So we will be waiting for him to call in shortly here. But first, I wanted to give you guys a little background, a little information about this show. I created this show out of my own brain when I was flying back from Las Vegas, and I decided, you know what, all of us, we get together once a year, maybe twice a year, and that's it. We don't really get to know each other beyond the, 3-4 minute conversation that we have, and I am genuinely curious about how everyone else lives, what they're into, what do they like, what do they do, how did they get where they're at? And rather than try to spend an hour with each person at the convention, you got to mingle, you got to move around. I decided I'm going to take an hour, and I am going to interview as many of the F4W umpires as I possibly can. And, I thought we'd start with some of the more popular names, Ed in San Antonio, Stevie J. I believe next week we will have on the Great Klitz. So keep that in mind. I don't really want to take phone calls here. Maybe from time to time we will, but really, I don't really want to ask questions from the board either. If you do have something pending that you just got to know, you can put it in my folder, as Brian would say. It's not really about getting a shitload of listeners. It's about all of us who are involved in the board, all of us taking a minute, taking an hour, taking a moment to hear about the lives of each other, beyond just, hey, getting hammered and dancing at Dick's, or, meeting at the WrestleMania. We're taking the wrestling out of it. We're taking the UFC out of it, because we all can talk for hours about that, but Brian does plenty about that. No, tonight it's just about the listeners. It's about you all. It's about my friends, and so that's what I wanted to go into here and explain that. Also, folks, I am not a gay male. It's quite simple. I'm just going to explain this one time. I am a mosaic hermaphrodite, meaning I was a conjoined twin when I was born, so I have some female cells and some male cells, and I have both functioning parts, but I present as a man, and I have sexual drives as both. It's pretty simple. So, there you go. Not a gay man. We've got our caller on the line. We're going to go to him right now. Stevie J, that's you.
What's up, Peach? Yes, I'm here.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I'm just listening to you break down your hermaphroditic example of what you represent to the world, and I'm glad you clarified that for all the people out there who think you just guzzle cum all the time.
Exactly. It's like if you took two puzzles, mixed them up together in a box, and they all happen to fit together. You take some of the good-looking pieces from one and some of the excellent-looking pieses from the other. You put them all together, you get an amazing shape. So that's me. I'm the PeachMachine. Unreplicable.
You take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the PeachMachine.
You take the good, you take even more good. That's me. Yes. So you were doing another show right before this, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. You didn't want to talk wrestling and MMA, so I was going to try to avoid that. But I was recapping Ultimate Fighter before that, and while I was doing that, Rubber Guard Radio was also airing in the Angry Marks chat room. And big up to KZ as it's his birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday to KZ. KZ has been our one and only caller thus far. And I was just talking about how this show is not really about taking calls. It's not really about answering questions. It's just a chat between myself and whoever we have interviewing today, it is you. And why don't you go ahead and give yourself a plug? I already told them angrymarks.com is the place to go, but what do you really offer over there?
Well, at angrymarks.com, we offer a whole bunch of things. We offer recaps of Raw, SmackDown, Impact, UFC, Ultimate Fighter, all the major shows that air on television every week. We've got a slew of interesting and provocative podcasts like Ring the Bell with Nikolai Kilikev-Ciar, Quintastic One, Thursday Night AMP, which now for the first time in 2010 has a co-host, as Peter H. will be joining me every single week for interviews and special guests and topical discussions, and Drunk Cast with Ed San Antonio Contreras and Craig when he's available too. They do a great show. We just brought in Milk of Minutia, which is hosted by our friends Bluefist and Junior Horseman. They do a variety of interviews with people from the world of comedy and entertainment, music. They've got all kinds of stuff going on that show. I mean, there's so many shows. I could take up the entire 45 minutes just listing them all. So let me just say, great lineup of shows. If you click on the podcast tab on angrymarks.com, you'll see everything that we have available. And at any show that you miss that airs live in the angrymarks.com chat room, you won't miss it at all. Like PeachMachine's show. If you don't hear this live right now, you can still get it later by going to iTunes, keyword Angry Marks, and all the shows are available there. So we got
awesome, and I thank you for hosting my site or my show as well. Yeah, I really appreciate it. But what
you sent me on there, I would have kept plugging for another 20 minutes. So good of you to set me up on that.
Well, I do want you to give out another plug, because I'm interested. Is some of you may have met Stephen J. You may not know this about him, and he probably wouldn't show as a person who knows a whole fucking hell of a lot about hip-hop and rap. Isn't that true?
Yeah, most people have the perception when they meet me that I would probably be the kind of guy who would listen to country or folk or maybe even gospel. I don't know. I mean, people don't perceive me as a rap person because, as you said, I don't present as that. I don't try to fake an image that's not me. I grew up on a farm in Iowa, and I represent that. But being a farm boy from Iowa, I still love rap music. I grew up listening to it. Got my first breakdance tape when I was 7 or 8 years old, and ever since then it's been on like Donkey Kong. So, yeah, I sucked at breakdancing, though. I don't have moves like you do on the dance floor.
Well, I never gave breakdancing a chance. I always thought it would be cool to do, but a little too athletic and acrobatic for me. I'm more of just a, hip thrust and sort of jive machine. But anyway, so tell us, that is kind of what you do, isn't it?
Yeah, actually, that was how I made my living. How I got it all started was I was doing it for fun in college. I was running an internet resource for rap lyrics, and basically it was just inspired because I'd been a hip-hop fan since a very young age and got on the internet in 92, and there were no hip-hop resources. There were people
92? You got on the internet at 92?
Yeah, 92, because my sister had a college, student account, and she let me log on through her account to get on the internet. So I went surfing what you could call the proto-web. There really wasn't a graphical web at the time. It was still being developed. It was a lot of text and groups, like internet news groups like the alt.rap group and the rec.music.funky. It was very texted, very dry, but it was still very fascinating to me because it was people from all around the world all talking to each other, which when you grow up on a little farm, that's right. Pretty amazing. When suddenly you're talking to people from Australia about rap music, it's like, holy fucking shit, this is the greatest thing ever.
Well, to date you, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I think I was in 5th grade in 1992.
Ooh, yeah. Sorry, I know I'm a little bit up there in age, so I hope I don't scare off the listeners with my old school Curtis Blow and Run DMC references. I apologize if I make everybody feel real young.
So the internet at the time, I'm sure it was just fucking brutal to work with, and you had to know a lot of code. It was the era of like RPG games where it was literally text or just screen after screen of reading, and then it's like, you were stabbed by an elf. Like that sort of shit, and you're just like, awesome. Wow.
Yeah, I did play some of those early text online role-playing games, and that's exactly what it was like. It was, if you ever played Zork, that may, again, be a really old-school reference, but it was like playing Zork, except you were playing it with people from all over the place instead of just playing by yourself you against the computer. Suddenly it was you against other people just like you. So the
we could play Dork on the Air like Brian and Vinny playing Dig Dug.
Yeah, but people wouldn't hear anything if we did that. It'd just be a bunch of keyboard clicking. You'd be like, what the fuck? It wouldn't sound good. But it was great because you could use your imagination and see everything that you were doing and everything that was happening to you. So in some ways, I think it's actually a little bit more sophisticated than the games today where everything is super 3D realistic because it takes all the creativity out of it. You don't get to use your mind anymore to see it.
That's absolutely true, and then maybe that's what we're lacking in these kids nowadays, no creativity of the mind. But so you stumbled upon the rap lyrics site, or when you decided you want to do your own.
Right. Well, I stumbled upon what was being available, via the news groups and via what was called Gopher, which was like a combination of file transfers between different users, but it was not turn off or turn on. It was like always on demand. So you could go into people's Gopher sites. Well, that's why I call it the proto-web. It was like the web before the World Wide Web. And you go around to people's Gophers and you go around news groups and you'd see lyrics for rock and country and everything. And then sporadically you'd see rap lyrics. So I started collecting the ones that were out there and started typing up some of my own because I had that love for it and I just wanted to help out. And then I decided, I got all these lyrics, I got to put them up and make them available to people. So I launched my own Gopher in FTP. And then as the web evolved as we knew it and graphics started coming into the picture, I just took it to the graphics level, and it kept growing all throughout my college career until it got so big that by the time I got to Iowa State, they kicked me off because I was soaking up too much of their bandwidth.
And what is that site now? What does it become now?
The domain name that I bought in the 90s was Original Hip Hop's Lyrics Archive, OHHLA. So if you go to that and put the .com at the end, you get like 20, 30, 40, 50, I don't even know how many tens of thousands of rap lyrics, but since it's been building up since 1992, let me just say a whole fucking shitload of rap lyrics all in one place.
OHHLA.com. And I've Googled some rap lyrics, and true to form, OHHLA pops up as the number one hit.
It's usually the first hit because it's been around for so long. It's like, the de facto site. And I'm not saying there aren't other sites out there that do rap lyrics, but I think mine is the definitive site. And that's part of the reason I chose the name Original Hip Hop Lyrics Archive, because there were other sites doing what I did when I bought my domain name, but I was the first person on the internet doing it. And I'm not trying to brag on that because it's not just me. There's a whole bunch of people that contributed to it and continue to do so that make it what it is today. So I can't take
That's
the
what I
full
was going to ask next. It's not just you composing these lyrics, but do you take the lyrics or do you actually have to transcribe the lyrics from listening to it?
It's both. I take submissions when I get them, and sometimes when I don't get them and I see a need and there's a song that's really popular or in demand, I go ahead and do it myself. Like just recently there was a song on the radio with Katy Perry and Snoop Dogg called California Girls, and I was kind of waiting for somebody to submit that, and a week went by, and another week went by, and I'm like, fuck this, I like this song, Maybe some of my holier-than-thou rap friends don't like it because it's Katy Perry, but I'm like, shit, this is a cool song, and Snoop does a cool cameo on it. So I went ahead and typed it up myself and put it on the site.
Well, cool. Well, I told you I might drop a little birthday surprise on your ass because I am PeachMachine and I like to give out gifts. So are you ready for the surprise?
Well, it's actually not till the 20th, but I'll start taking my surprise.
No. It's my birthday. Every day is my birthday because I'm a princess.
Of course. So it's your birthday. What are you going to do?
Oh, I'm going to give you a couple of gifts here, and the gift is a game. So what I'm going to do is I have put some different music or some rap music. I've uploaded it to my board here, and I am going to play them, and I want to see, one, if you can identify the song and the artist, and two, if you know the lyrics. It's really simple. I got a couple of easy ones, a couple of hard ones, but there'll be 5 in total. You ready to roll?
Let's do it.
All right. I'm going to start you off with a pretty easy one. I think you should get it. You ready? Just jump in when you know what it is or start singing along. Well, I'll tell you what. I have a 4-year-old guess it'd be my niece. Not my cousin's child. I don't know, second cousin or some shit. And she knows all the words to Wankster. So you should be disappointed, but I'll give you that one. You got it correct.
Well, I have to say, it sometimes is a little embarrassing when I find out that 4-year-olds learn lyrics like that. It's like, I don't know if that's really appropriate for a 4-year-old. I mean, I consider my site's audience a little more, mature than that. But you can't control the flow of information on the Internet. If it wasn't on my site, they'd learn it from somebody else.
There's a very popular song going around, and I think it's by possibly LFMAO, and it's got some lyrics in there about polka dot bikini or something, right? Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
Polka dot bikini something. Well, I'll tell you, from the convention, I was at the pool at Bally's, and no one's batting a fucking eye, but a pool during the day in Vegas is just a club. And guess what? Children go to the pool. And this girl had to be 3, not even pre-kindergarten. And with her mother was singing every single word to "Pick up that polka dot bikini, bitch." And I was like, I was appalled. And I am unoffendable for real. And I wasn't really appalled. But no one, just like, what's wrong with today's youth? Oh, no idea. What could possibly be wrong? If that wasn't bad enough, the mother then entered her into the booty shaking contest, and she did pretty well. Didn't win, but it was amazing. It was amazing. All right, we got one more for you, and I expect a sing along from you. Okay, and you have to insert your name.
Hi, kids. Do you like violence?
Watch me shoot 9 nails in each one of my eyelids. You got to admit, Eminem has got some of the greatest lyrics of all time. He's creative as hell, and his beats are awesome, and he's just doing something that's very unique.
Legit story for you. I was living in Michigan at the time his first records started coming out, and of course he's from Detroit, so his records were like even bigger there before they hit nationwide in the rest of the country. And I got his first EP, and he has a song on there called "Just the Two of Us," where he's talking to his little daughter about stabbing and murdering her own mother.
That's a great song.
I know, yeah. and that song is so sick and twisted. I'm driving down I-94, and he tells the part about, "I'm sorry, Haley, Mommy got ketchup on her shirt," and I immediately swerved off the road. I started laughing so hard.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about. He's going to take her, and he's got her in the trunk, and he's going to throw her in the ocean or something.
Exactly, and that song is just so sick and so over the top. I just couldn't help myself. Tears were rolling down my face, and I knew right then that he was going to be big. I didn't know how big he was going to be, but I knew with that sick sense of humor of his, he was going to get noticed. Yeah,
Eminem has always been one of my favorites, and I think he's done very well for himself, and as the white rapper who, against all the odds, became bigger than almost everybody, and I think it's pretty fucking cool. You've had a couple of guys.
But I mean, a lot of people think that he started the white rap revolution, and the truth is, it started years and years before him with Third Base. They were out there doing pop.
Oh yeah, Third Base.
and even before that, you had the Beastie Boys. 3 white Jewish boys from Brooklyn. They were representing like the cream of the partiest of the hardest of the fratternest of the rappers. They were just out there having a good time, and nobody could hate them for it because they were just funky and cool. So, Vanilla Ice was like the guy that upset the apple cart and made everybody hate white rappers for a while. But really, they've been in it for a long time.
Yeah, that is true. I tried to load up some Vanilla Ice, and I don't know what the fuck happened with this stupid BTR, but it didn't go.
You were going to have me try to rap along, because I'll admit that I actually know the lyrics to Ice Ice Baby, but that's because
it wasn't
played on the radio. It was played 50 fucking million times on the radio, so how could you not know it?
Oh, well, that's the easy one. I wasn't going to give you that one. I was going to give you a lesser-known hit off his second album. You may remember when he came back when he had some sort of dreadlock, cornrow, horrible thing, and his big hit was "Roll 'em up, roll up the Hootie Mac." Remember that?
Yeah, unfortunately I do. I remember Vanilla Ice trying to go gangsta, and that was when he was really at his lowest point. It was like, everybody's, get the fuck out of here with this stupid-ass white boy. He was already exposed as being a fraud at that point, and it just got more and more fraudulent. It was just not a good look for him.
Yeah, but I believe his lowest point was when he got beat by Todd Bridges on Celebrity Boxing.
Either that or being hung off a balcony by Suge Knight, one or the other.
All right, man. Let's get off the subject of your day job here. I want you to go ahead and tell the story about you meeting me for the first time, because 3 years ago we met at the convention in Vegas. It was completely on a whim that I went. I brought my good friend Jen, who you know. What were your first impressions of me?
Well, I have to admit,
feel free to say the word cocksucker if you'd like.
No, cocksucker was not the word that came to mind when I met you. In fact, I was looking forward to it at that point because, you had already been doing the show with Ed, and I had been hosting the Drunk Cast with you and him on the website, and I was like, I already know Ed, but I don't know this crazy dude Peach, and I want to see what he's all about. And
you had no idea.
Right, and you turned out to be the life of the party. I mean, not just because you brought Jen, and not just because you were out there having a good time, but because things just sort of flowed in a circle around you. The only way I can compare it is like a black hole. It's like everything just came towards you. The energy, the party, the drinks, the alcohol. Just more and more as the night went on. And at one point, you were out there on the balcony of Dick's Last Resort in Vegas, and you were doing this dance with the wall, and it was just, words can't even describe it. You were throwing napkins in the air, catching them. You were getting your groove on, and I'm like, this guy is crazy, but he's my kind of crazy. I like this.
Well, I appreciate it. Well, that was actually last year. Do you remember, did you go 2 years ago?
Okay, well, alcohol that we drink there may inebriate me to some memories. So,
2 years ago was the battle with Brian that I had.
Oh yeah, you're right. The grappling battle when you and Brian got in the ring at the Harley Davidson at the Red Rock.
Right. No, but we met before that. We met at the UFC where it was the main event was. Who the fuck was it?
Was it DJ 10 and Sean Shirk? UFC
no, that was year 2. It was.
Yeah.
Who the fuck was it?
Let's see. The conventions I remember that I've been to are 84, which was Penn and Shirk, 98, which was Evans and Machida, and 114, which, of course, we were all just at, Rampage and Rashad. So.
Oh, you know what? It was Evans, or it was BJ and Shirk. You're right, because everyone was chanting steroids. And Tito also fought Machida on that fight.
And nearly triangled him out. It got so close and the time ran out.
Right. Yeah. That was the first time we met. And that was the first time we went to Dick's.
And that wasn't the time you were throwing forks and silverware over the railing?
No, that was absolutely last year because my buddy the Bird was there.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, Bird was with you, and Bird was doing all sorts of crazy shit, too.
Absolutely. Yes, that is correct.
So now I got to figure out what it was that you did the first year that just wowed the hell out of me. Because I mean, at that point, it was already on like Donkey Kong, but you've been bringing it up another level every year since then. So go ahead.
I don't know. I feel like I dropped the ball this year. I didn't make it to the fights. I don't know, man. I don't know if I was trying to interact with everybody. There's so many more people this year, though. You took part in the shotgun, though. No, you weren't there for that either. Oh, you were?
I was there for the shot. See, this is the misconception. Is I'm the one in the camera taking rolling the video of you shotgunning the beer, and you had handed me a beer, and I was going to shotgun it with you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
You are correct. Like, you just record it, and you drink that beer slowly. I'm like, fine, okay, I'm going to shotgun the beer.
Oh, the wife always brings the party down. Jesus.
No, she was just asking me to pace myself. And realistically, when you go to one of these conventions, you don't want to end. God bless Richard Dunbeck, but you don't want to end up like Reed Dunbeck, where you're hanging off a palm tree giggling all night long. You got to pace yourself a little.
Was he the one that didn't quite make it to the strip club?
That was either him or Gabe in Memphis. I think they both.
Oh, that was Gabe. That was Gabe.
Yeah. They both had more than their fair share over the course of the weekend.
And you know what? It's like I've been there before, and I didn't have the heart to tell him not to come. I'm glad Ed did, and I've been there before as far as like saying the next day, boy, I wish someone would not have let me get on whatever bus to do whatever I did that resulted in me getting carried out by a bouncer. So
sometimes
we've all been there.
Know when to say when, but I'm still trying to flash back to UFC 84. Was that the one where you marked out when I stood up and started rapping along to Redman's Time for Some Action?
Yeah, that is it. That is the one. That is the one.
Okay.
You were.
Now,
that's when the. You still there?
Oh, yeah. I was telling you to go ahead, and you were telling me to go ahead. So we had a moment of epic fail there.
Well, officially, you go ahead.
All right. Well, all I was going to say is I remember that you and Jen and a few other people were sitting like 5-10 rows up from us, and it came time for the co-main or the main, whichever one it was, and Redman came on, and I stood up and stood in the middle of the aisle, half drunk off beer, and just started going into it word for word. Let's get ready to rumble. In this corner, we had the folk body snatch. Keep funkadelic again, I catch. And later on, you came over and told me you were just amazed that I was just rapping along word for word with the whole thing.
Absolutely true. And I hadn't met you at that point because we were kind of playing tag. I had never met Ed. I had never met any of you guys. And it was Jen and I sitting kind of up into the back. And there was empty seats around us, which we found out that someone couldn't make it. But Sideswipe was sitting next to us. But he wasn't really sitting next to us. We weren't really sure. And he didn't come with us. So that was a little awkward moment. But now it's like, it's so easy just to jump in the crew, and everybody's so friendly and personable and just get along great, man. And the greatest thing about you is that you bring your wife, and she's super nice to everyone and lets you do whatever you want to do, and isn't a buzzkill, just like all the chicks are very super cool. But you brought the original chick. So one question about Lady J, then we'll drop it.
Sure.
What are her thoughts on fighting and wrestling? This is not the show about fighting and wrestling, but did you bring her into the fray, or was she a fan prior to you, or how did that work?
Well, no, this is the hilarious thing about it is I had actually given up on wrestling when I was in high school because it got really old. I got tired of Hulk Hogan always being the champion, always being on top, and we didn't get the other shows. I didn't have the variety of choices. Where I lived, there was no cable, so it was like all Hulk Hogan all the time, and I got to the point where I was like, fuck this, I'm not watching it anymore, I'm done with it. And went to college, did my college thing, graduated, moved to Michigan, started getting my shit on there, and then all of a sudden hooked up with Michelle, and we hadn't talked since college. We'd known each other there, but we never really rolled in the same circles. You know, she was a music major, I was a journalism major, so we were each doing our own thing, but we still sort of casually knew each other through mutual friends and whatnot, and the fact that we were both on the internet in some of the same places. And I'm getting on rambling, I know, I'll shut up and get to the point. We started talking again, and we started dating after that. I flew out to Nebraska to see her. You know, it got more serious. Eventually I moved in with her, and she was watching wrestling. And I hadn't been watching since high school. And I'm like, wait a minute, it's the same motherfuckers. Look, it's Ric Flair, it's Hulk Hogan, nothing's changed. He's like, no, wait, it's good. You got to see this guy, The Rock. He's amazing. And he comes out and he grabs the microphone, you know, let's go so bad. I was like, oh, my God, this guy is amazing. And that was what got me hooked, was The Rock and Stone Cold. She brought me back into the fold by introducing me to those guys.
Well, thank you, Lady J. That's excellent. But she fight fan, too? She's got to be, right?
Well, she's become one by proxy because when WWE started to go a little bit downhill in 2003 and 2004, I was trying out other things to, you know, figure out where I was going to. I wanted to keep myself in sports entertainment, but I wanted to have more variety. So I'm checking out TNA and Ring of Honor, and then all of a sudden, after a little while, this Ultimate Fighter comes on, and it's coming on after the end of Raw every week, and I started getting into it and watching Forrest Griffin and Stephen Bonner do their thing in the Ultimate finale. I was like, This is the evolution. This is the future. It's combining wrestling and fighting. It's entertainment, but it's a physical sport instead of a work sport. They're really trying to beat each other up. They're really trying to win, and they're really doing this shit for real. You know, and from there, I just started wanting to go to fights and wanted to write about fights and expanded Angry Marks to include mixed martial arts coverage and not just pro wrestling. And, you know, if I go to shows, she goes to shows. So, you know, she's not into it hardcore. She's not going to watch King of the Cage or Dream 14, but she'll watch a UFC. She'll go to the bar with me. Like this Saturday, she'll go with me to Buffalo Wild Wings, and she'll watch the pay-per-view. And if there's a fight where she doesn't know the fighters or she's kind of bored, she'll pull out her computer and get on the internet. But otherwise, she's right there with me.
Does she have her own board account? I don't know this.
No, she's not on the board. If she gets on the board, it's through me, and I try to keep her away from it because you and I both know it gets a little bit crazy. I mean, I love those motherfuckers, but sometimes they get to be a little much to handle.
Exactly, and this show is exactly that. It is for the board, and about the board, and that's pretty much it. So the board can definitely be a raucous place, but I limit myself to the bodybuilding forum, which I now run, teambiggity.com, check it out, and the radio shows forum because that's where I put these threads. And I've been looking at the get-togethers forum, but I don't go back into the MPI or anything else because it just sucks you in, man. It's just a life sucker.
That's exactly it, and that's why I try to limit myself too. When I go sporadically now. I used to be a hardcore boarder or hardboarding as they call it, but now I just kind of get on there once in a while, and like you, I pick and choose and limit myself to a couple places. I go to the events forum to see about get-togethers and see the crazy photos and pictures and videos, and then I go to the radio shows forum to see what new shows are up. And I usually will jump into the MMA forum really quick because I respect a lot of the people in there, you know, like Todd Martin and Oliver Kopp, and I always want to see what they have to say.
Right. Now you've made it to the last 3 conventions. I'm sure you'll be at the next one, but you and I have also hung out at one other time. Do you recall when that was?
Oh, yeah, the Royal Rumble, Detroit, 2 years ago.
Yes, it was. That was a pretty damn good show, if I recall. And for those of you out there, go ahead.
You had a lot to do with that because you got the hookup from He Who Shall Not Be Named but is on TV every week, and he gave us that entire row that was tarped off behind the production, all the lights and the people working the stage and the sound. They opened that row up and gave us seats right there thanks to you.
Yes, that was an awesome gesture by that man, and I appreciate it, and I've spoken to him since, and he's a very cool guy as usual. But the one thing I remember about that, I was just looking at my buddy's Facebook. I don't know if you remember his name was Jimmy. I don't know. There was like 4 of us. But he took a picture of the sound guy dicking around on Facebook. Put it on Facebook.
You and I started razzing him about it. You had a little bottle of something special that we were pouring into our Cokes. As we had more and more of it as the night went on, we were all started dicking the guy and like, get on Facebook and do your job. We were all giving him shit.
Friend me on Facebook. Friend me on. You know he could hear us.
Yeah, and to that guy's credit, even though he could hear us, he was obviously tuning us out. He just stayed right on doing what the fuck he was doing.
Which was growing a farm or something retarded.
Yeah, probably Farmville or Mafia Wars or one of those other things that don't play.
Now, didn't Michelle get the correct winner? Didn't she won the pool, right, that year? Yeah,
we had the Royal Rumble pool on the board with 30 different people from the Empire all in it, and she was number 8, and number 8 turned out to be, I think it was Randy Orton that year.
Randy Orton, yes, he definitely won that match. He didn't go the distance, but he went pretty damn far. You guys didn't make it this year, but I will put the invitation out there for you and for anyone else. I will be at the Royal Rumble this year and for every single year coming up because, as a joke, a good friend of mine named Nick, who you met, we both said we need to go to every Royal Rumble from here on out, and so we shall have been going for the last 3 years. And so if you want to come be part of the pool, the Black Pool, Royal Rumble this year, don't know where it's at yet, but what's the next thing you're going to be going to?
I think the next thing coming up will probably be Money in the Bank pay-per-view in Kansas City. We're going to get ringside seats, 4th row. So if you see some crazy-ass sign that says PeachMachine, like, directly in the hard camera, you'll know that's me.
Well, you don't have to do that for me, but that would be fucking hilarious. Kansas City, I didn't know that. You said it was Money in the Bank, huh? I didn't know that was there. Well,
yeah, it's
as
the one after Fatal 4-Way. It's at the Kemper Arena. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, yeah, the Kemper Arena. Yeah, I know that very well. I'm not in St. Louis anymore. I'm actually have moved to Tampa.
Right.
Otherwise, I might have made the jaunt out that way because it's only 4 hours from St. Louis. But yeah, I'm not making
It's such a short drive for us too. It's only a few hours from Omaha, so it's like shit. Why not? We didn't get to go to WrestleMania this year. Might as well go to see one crazy ass ladder match with everybody killing each other.
Yeah, man, and hopefully my roommate will be in on that crazy ass ladder match because hopefully he's going to continue getting a little bit of a push here coming up.
Yeah, your roommate got quite a little push there with John Cena the last week. I'm definitely digging on his position moving up the card right now.
Yeah, I mean, we're hoping it goes well, and we're hoping he sticks around and stays healthy. But we're not going to go into that aspect. Kayfabe. He's in the other room putting a GPS together or something. What was I going to say? Oh, WrestleMania this year is going to be in Atlanta. I will be there. Are you going to be going to that?
Oh, hell yes. The cancer is going to throw on the bomb of all parties, so there's no way I'm going to miss seeing what the cancer puts on for us. And hopefully I'll make the Royal Rumble, too. If I don't make it to both, I'm definitely making it to WrestleMania. I
hope the Royal Rumble is in a fucking warm spot because Detroit was super, super duper cold, and Rodney made the trip all the way from Louisiana, and I know his black ass was freezing.
That's what I was going to say to you a little bit earlier when you said we were going to make this an annual tradition. I'm thinking to myself, if it's an annual tradition, the Cripple has to be there too, because without him,
yes, he does.
The same.
Yeah, he was in Atlanta, but you guys wimped out. So
I'm sorry. It was more a budgetary thing than anything else because the internet really took a downturn when the whole .com, the web, the stock market, everything just all went down at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. And then, I understand I wasn't going to make it out to Vegas this year because of finances, but I was able to scrap together some money and I sold my car and made it last second. And
we got to give a big shout-out to Sir Highlight because he got us that great deal on a room at the Renaissance. And without him, it wouldn't have been possible. The money he saved us enabled us to pay for airfare and UFC tickets.
Well, I slept on the floor in a room, so I didn't pay anything for a room. So that also helped me.
Well, it's not like we do much sleeping in Vegas anyway. It's like a 24-hour-a-day party.
That's exactly it. Next year I was thinking about just getting a ticket for Friday, come home Sunday, and nothing else, and then just try to get an 8-ball Coke and see if I could stay up all night. That might be a bad idea. I'd probably end up in jail. I slept for 5 hours on the floor of the airport this time. Who knows?
If you don't end up in jail, our good friend Teddy Long just might. What are you two motherfuckers going to end up in jail before these Vegas conventions come to an end?
The first year I met Teddy, no, I don't drink. I was like, oh, cool, man, good for you. Stay sober or whatever. This year, just fucking annihilated. I was like, yeah, that's what happens when you hit 18, 19, 20. And you got to keep going until Teddy Long hits 21. Absolutely, that's in 2 years. The 21st for Teddy, that's going to be a big one. I'll get him on here at this point.
It's so silly because he can drink legally in Germany. He can just pound as many beers as he wants, and then he comes here and they tell him he can't drink. For him, that's got to be kind of fucked up.
Well, he knows what he's getting into, and it's probably better. Hey, we got 1 minute left. I'm going to make my plugs here, teamvigity.com. Check it out for all your bodybuilding needs. angrymarks.com for all of your podcast, wrestling, UFC needs. Hit me up on Twitter, PeachMachine. Go ahead and talk about our guest, Stevie J's site, OHHLA, for all the original hip-hop lyrics. And his site is already Angry Marks. You got anything else you want to put over?
Oh, yeah, rapreviews.com, too. That's the second biggest site I have, 10 years plus running. It's reviews of all the new albums that come out, like Drake's Thank Me Later. You can find a review of that on rapreviews.com this week. And Little John's Crunk Rock, you'll find a review of that, too. I mean, every week we cover all the latest, newest, biggest, best, and a lot of the underground and sometimes, undiscovered rap artists also get covered there. It's open to everything from the biggest to the smallest. So come to rapreviews.com. Cool. We got a great crew of writers there. They do some great shit.
Don't forget about WrestlingObserver.com/F4WOnline.com, and don't forget to listen to my buddy Ed Sennett.
Sorry, I was gonna do the Brian show for Brian since he's not here. It's the best $10.99 a month you'll ever spend because there's more radio than you can ever possibly listen to.
Yes, more than you'd ever want to as well. And don't forget to listen to my fat friend Ed in San Antonio, who does the Drunk Cast, the show I created, started, and then handed off to him. That's on Friday nights, I believe. BlogTalkRadio.com. Edward Laredo, and we're gonna keep going here. We got less than 10 seconds, but Stevie and I are gonna keep chatting for another couple of minutes. So if you want to listen to that, you're gonna have to download the show. Stevie, tell me some of your Vegas memories, favorite memories.
Favorite memories. Oh man, there's so many. I don't even know where to begin. There's so much shit. This year, last year, the year before.
I want to hear this year.
All right, memories from this year.
We're trying to put it over so people will go next year.
But one thing I absolutely loved was getting to meet producer Audrey. Bluefist, wonderful woman. She is the life of a party. She knows how to get out there and have a good time. She was drinking those extra tall glasses with the margarita or the tequila or whatever it was in them, and she was just pounding that down, and she was getting out there and dancing with everybody. She was dancing with you. She was dancing with Cliff. She was dancing with Ed. She was dancing with Vinny. She was a dance machine, and just seeing her do her thing and get wild and huff up on the table and get us kicked off the balcony because she was dancing on the table, that was fun. She is a ball when she's at a party. She knows
very
how to
fun girl.
Yes.
Bluefist got very lucky because he is a sorry sack of shit. I'm kidding. I love Bluefist.
Yeah, we all love Bluefist. He's awesome, and Audrey is awesome. Yeah, so it was cool seeing her do her thing, and it was cool having so many women there this year, having Bridget there and Whitney there and Jen there and Lady J there and Audrey there. Sometimes these conventions have felt a little bit like a sausage fest, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but people start dancing more when there are women there. People start loosening up more when there are women there. It's like it doesn't just become all about wrestling and MMA. People actually forget about that shit and start having fun.
Exactly. So don't think you're going to be the only woman there, guys. Bring your girlfriends. Not only did I bring Jen, I think I brought 4 other girls to the party who were looking for dudes, and y'all dropped the ball. Well, one of you didn't, but everyone else dropped the ball.
Was that I Love Rashad girl? Was she from your crew?
No, she was not, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, that was one of my other favorite memories of this year, is seeing that girl pick up Jakey and bounce him up and down like he was a rag doll. And Jakey, for his part, was all the way into it. He's like, you go right ahead, do what you want with me, I'm yours.
Yes, Jakey was, I would say, my personal highlight. We're going to have him on this show and on the parade coming up shortly as well. Jakey, someone's calling me. God damn it. I'm going to have to ignore this. Hold on.
All right.
You still here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Well, we'll only go a couple more minutes here. I'm actually going on a cruise tomorrow. I have to get ready, and it is 11:47 on the East Coast.
Where's the cruise going? Where's it heading to?
We're going through the Gulf of Oil to Mexico, and we're going to be there for a day, and then coming back to T-Town and on Monday. So it should be a good time.
All right. What, are you hitting up like Cancun, or is it just on
No. I have no fucking clue, really. We're going to some island. I don't know, man. I'm just getting on the boat.
You don't care. You just want to party. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I don't even really want to party that much. I just want to lay out on the beach and look at some hot girls. Or guys, because I'm hermaphrodite.
Exactly. Whatever works for you, Peach. Nobody's discriminating here. Whatever floats your boat, no pun intended.
Any other final thoughts, final memories you want to share before we go here?
Yeah, I'll just say I want to give a huge shout-out to everybody from the Empire who made it out to Vegas this year and who's been there the past couple of years, and everybody that I met going all the way back to UFC 74 and going back to the first time I went to WrestleMania in Chicago. Every time I've met members of the Empire, always been a bunch of cool motherfuckers, never a bad one in the bunch. There's crazy guys, there's weird guys, there's awesome guys, there's hilarious guys, but there's never bad guys and there's never boring guys. Every time you get together with the Empire and these crazy motherfuckers from the board, it's always good.
Positively unique, absolutely positively unique, and in a good way, which is a very eclectic crew, but a very inviting and friendly crew.
Indeed. Anybody who thinks they have any perception of somebody just because of what they write on the board or the way they talk shit on a radio show just needs to come to one of these get-togethers and find out the person behind the person is really just a cool-ass dude who just likes to have a good time.
Exactly. And to find out more about the people behind the people, keep listening to the PeachMachine Parade every Wednesday night. We're going to be going 11 Eastern, 10 Central. Stevie J, I appreciate you helping me out on my second show. And I appreciate you hosting my stuff at angrymarks.com. And it was good times, and I will hopefully be seeing you sooner than later.
Yes, and I got to say, it was fun to be living in his coattails because I came in second behind him. So he set the standard, and I'm just trying to do my best to follow it up and get everybody to listen to PeachMachine's Parade.
Well, you know how bad he would have gotten his feelings hurt if I didn't have him on first. Come on.